Solving equations, word problems. Okay, write and solve equations for the following linear word problems. So number one says, your class is raising funds for an end of the year trip to an amusement park. Your class plans to rent one bus. It costs $180 to rent a school bus for the day and $30 per student admission ticket. Your class raised $1,000. How many students can go on the trip? Okay, so we're trying to figure out how many students can go on the trip. So maybe I'll use S for students. So just be careful because my S's sometimes look like fives. So I'm going to use S for students. So this is how I'm going to set it up. It's 180 for the bus, and that's just a one-time bus fee, plus $30 per student. That's an S. So 30 times the number of students, 30S. That's why I wrote them next to each other like that. And they raised $1,000, so equals $1,000. So I'm trying to figure out 180 plus 30 times how many students can give me $1,000 to figure out how many students can go on the trip. So that's how you set it up. That's the setup. Okay, and then you solve it. So I'll solve this pretty quickly. Trying to solve for S, trying to figure out how many students can go. So I'm going to subtract 180 from both sides. Okay, so I'm going to have 30S equals, that would be 820. And then divide by 30 to isolate S. So S is going to equal 820 divided by 30. I'm typing this in. Oh, okay. I got 27.3 repeating. But obviously, this is a word problem, and we have to interpret our solutions. I can't say that 27.3 students can go. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to have to round down. Regardless if it was 27.9, I would still have to round down because they could not afford 28. That would be too much money. So I'm going to say 27 students. That's going to be my answer. Okay. I'm going to let you do 2. I'm going to do 3. Jasmine has already read 100 pages of her class book and reads 15 more pages every night. Vanessa has already read 60 pages of her class book and reads 20 pages every night. After how many nights will they have the same number of pages? Okay, so I'm going to make an equation for Jasmine, or an expression for Jasmine, and an expression for Vanessa, and we want to figure out when they're equal, so we're going to set them equal to each other. So let me start off with Vanessa. Vanessa has already read 100 pages, and then plus 15 per night. That's Vanessa's. And then, who's the other person? Oh, no, my bad. That's Jasmine. Whoops. Jasmine has read 100 pages and reads 15 more pages every night. Vanessa has already read 60, but she reads 20 pages every night. So she reads a little faster. And we want to see when these are equal. And I'm using N for night. For nights. Okay? So that left side, that was Jasmine. The right side, that's Vanessa. So then we solve it. So I want to solve it. So I got to get, there's nothing to combine on either side, but I got to move. I got an N on the left side. I got a variable on the left side. I got a variable on the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to subtract this 15N just because I know the 20 minus 15N, that's going to be positive. I like working with positive numbers. It'll be 5N. 100 over here. Okay, now we're going to take away the 60 because we're solving for that N there. That's going to be 40 equals 5N, and then divide by 5. So that means 8 equals N. No rounding necessary. So 8 nights. They will have read the same number of pages after 8 nights. And you could always plug that 8 in to figure out how many pages that is to one of their expressions, but it doesn't ask you to do that. So after 8 nights, they're going to have the same number of pages read. I'll let you do 4, and I'll even let you do 5. 5's kind of like 6 a little bit. I'm going to just do 6. Okay. A movie theater starts a new membership program. Members of the program pay $15 to join and can purchase a bucket of popcorn for $6.75. Non-members pay $8 for a bucket of popcorn. So non-members don't have to pay anything to join. It says after how many buckets of popcorn is the total cost the same for members as it is for non-members? So again, I'm going to write an expression for the members, and I'm going to write an expression for the non-members, and we want to figure out when they're the same, so I'm going to set them equal to each other. So I'll start off with the members. It's $15 to join plus $6.75 per bucket of popcorn. Now I'm going to use P instead of B. I could use B for buckets, but my B sometimes look like 6. So I'm gonna use a P. That's my popcorn. That's my buckets of popcorn. And non-members, it's $8 per popcorn. And there's no they don't have to pay any. That's all the non-members is. It's just $8 per popcorn. They don't have anything to join, obviously. So there's our expression. And then we solve. So I P on both sides. That's an issue. So I'm going to subtract the 6.75P. And while I'm doing this, remember there was no terms to combine or anything. So I don't have to worry about that. Divide by 1.25. I got 12. So remember P I was saying is my buckets of popcorn. So I'm going to write 12 buckets of popcorn. So that's when they're going to be the same cost, the same total cost for members as non-members. Okay. Couple more. Let's start with 7 here. On an isosceles triangle, if you don't remember what that is, it's fine, because remember, isosceles triangle, 2 of the side lengths are the same. Let the 2 equal side lengths be represented as x. The third side of the isosceles triangle is 5 centimeters less than the other side lengths. If the perimeter is 19 centimeters, what are the measures of the side lengths of the triangle? Okay, so it says let the 2 equal side lengths be represented as x. So I'm going to label this triangle. I'm going to say this is x and this is x, because those are the 2 equal side lengths. And it says the third side is 5 centimeters less than the other side lengths. So this third side would be x minus 5 because it's 5 centimeters less. And it says if the perimeter is 19 centimeters, what is the measures of the side length? So the perimeter is 19 centimeters. So if you remember perimeter, to find the perimeter of any shape, you just add up all the sides. So I'm going to add x plus the x minus 5, and that should equal 19. So I'm adding up all the sides. X plus the x minus 5. If you need me to, I can, well, yeah, I don't need to highlight that. Yeah. So maybe we can combine some terms here. I have an 1x plus 1x plus 1x. This is going to be 3x. I still have that minus 5 equals 19. And then just solve it. 2 steps. Add 5 to both sides. That'd be 24. Divide by 3. Going to be 8. Okay. So x is 8, but be careful, because that's not what the question's asking. I'm going to underline that. It's asking what are the measures of the side lengths. So maybe I'll redraw that triangle. If that's not even close. Whatever. Okay. So if x is 8, then this side length's 8. That's 8 centimeters. And this one's 8 centimeters. But this one is x minus 5. So 8 minus 5 is 3. So that's 3 centimeters. So these are our answers. 8, 8, and 3. Hope that made sense. Okay, number 8, I'm just going to set up for you, but I'm going to let you do it. Okay, it says 2 rectangular fields, both measured in feet, are modeled below. What value of x in feet would cause the fields to have equal areas? So really the only prerequisite here that you need to understand is that to find the area of a rectangle, you do length times width or base times height, whatever you want to call it. So this left shape, this shape here, this left shape, the area, so this length here, let me label that in blue or something. This length here is an x and then a 2, an x and a 2. So this length is x plus 2. So the area of this rectangle would be 8x plus 2, 8 times that quantity x plus 2. Redraw that parenthesis. And then the area of let me write that in here. This would be 8 times x plus 2. And then the area of this triangle will just be 12 times x. And we want to figure out when they have equal areas. So there you go. That's the equation you would set up. 8 times x plus 2 equals 12x. So in this one, what you would do is distribute. You distribute that 8, then move the x over and solve from there. Okay, but I'm going to let you solve that one. So that's word problems.